It often starts with just one, a single dark hair on the chin, then another near the jawline, and before long, it becomes part of the daily routine. Checking the mirror, reaching for the tweezers, wondering quietly, is this normal? The truth is, facial hair growth in women over 60 is far more common than most people realize. But what most do not know is that it is not just about aging. In many cases, everyday habits, the kind done without even thinking, might actually be making it worse. Things like drinking coffee before eating, skipping meals, using the same skincare products for decades, or even not sleeping well. All of these can throw off the body's delicate hormone balance, especially after menopause. And when that balance shifts, it can lead to higher levels of androgens, the hormones most responsible for unwanted facial hair. This is not something to be embarrassed about. It is something to understand. Because once the connection between habits and hormones becomes clear, it opens the door to real, lasting solutions. In this video, there will be a breakdown of 7 daily behaviors that doctors have found to be linked to facial hair growth in senior women. These are backed by science, explained in plain language, and most importantly, they are things that can be changed gently, naturally, and without extremes. And at the end, there will be one surprising habit shared, a small change that made a noticeable difference, and it is something most women do automatically every single morning. 1. The caffeine trap. For decades, having a cup of coffee first thing in the morning has felt like a harmless, even comforting ritual. It is warm, familiar, and gives a much-needed energy boost. But what many women do not realize is that drinking caffeine on an empty stomach, especially right after waking up, can have unintended effects on the body's hormonal balance, particularly after menopause. When caffeine is consumed without food, it can cause a sharp rise in cortisol, which is the body's main stress hormone. In small, controlled amounts, cortisol helps regulate metabolism, alertness, and energy. But when cortisol stays elevated too often or for too long, it can throw other hormones out of alignment. This becomes especially important for women over the age of 60. After menopause, estrogen levels naturally decline, which can cause other hormones like testosterone to become more dominant. This shift can lead to various symptoms, one of which is unwanted facial hair growth, often on the chin, jawline, and upper lip. High cortisol levels only intensify this imbalance. Regularly spiking cortisol by consuming caffeine first thing in the morning without food may make the hormonal environment even more favorable to facial hair growth. It is not the caffeine itself that causes the issue. It is the timing and the lack of nutritional support when the body is most sensitive. A simple adjustment can make a noticeable difference. Eating even a small portion of food before that first sip of coffee can help buffer the cortisol response. Something as easy as a boiled egg, a few almonds, half a banana, or a slice of whole grain toast can reduce hormonal stress and support more stable energy throughout the day. This habit is not about giving up coffee, but about being more intentional. The body works hard to maintain balance, and a small morning change can set the tone for healthier hormonal function all day long. When the body feels nourished and grounded first thing in the morning, it is less likely to react with stress and more likely to respond with balance. 2. The hidden hormone disruptors in skincare. Skincare routines are deeply personal. For many women, a favorite cream or cleanser has been part of daily life for years, sometimes even decades. These products are chosen for their scent, texture, and promises of youthful skin. But as science continues to evolve, doctors are beginning to raise concerns about what may be hiding inside those familiar bottles and jars. Many skincare products, especially those formulated before stricter regulations were in place, contain ingredients known as endocrine disruptors. These are chemicals that interfere with the body's hormone system. Common examples include parabens, phthalates, and synthetic fragrances, substances often used to preserve the product, add scent, or improve texture. Endocrine disruptors may seem harmless in small doses, but over time, repeated exposure can build up and influence how the body produces and processes hormones. For postmenopausal women whose estrogen levels are already lower, this can mean even greater hormonal imbalance, specifically more room for testosterone to take the lead. And when testosterone becomes more dominant, the body may respond with unwanted symptoms like facial hair growth, especially around the chin, jawline, and cheeks. The skin, ironically, may also become more reactive, dry, or prone to breakouts. One of the most important steps a woman can take is to begin reading product labels. If a label lists ingredients that are hard to pronounce or includes terms like fragrance, methylparaben, or diethyl phthalate, it is worth reconsidering. Choosing products that are labeled paraben-free, fragrance-free, or hypoallergenic is a gentler option for aging skin and for hormonal stability. Simplifying skincare can also bring unexpected relief. Natural alternatives such as organic rosehip oil, oat-based cleansers, and unscented moisturizers provide hydration without overwhelming the body with chemicals. These choices not only support healthier skin on the outside, but also contribute to hormonal health from within. The goal is not perfection, it is awareness. By choosing cleaner products, the skin can be cared for in a way that supports rather than disrupts the body's natural balance. And over time, that can mean more calm, more confidence, and fewer surprises in the mirror. 3. The hidden cost of chronic stress. Stress has long been accepted as a part of daily life, especially for women who have spent decades taking care of others. Whether it was raising children, managing a household, working full-time, or supporting aging parents, the pressure to stay strong and keep going has been constant. Many women have been taught that stress is just something to be endured, quietly, without complaint. But the body does not forget stress. Over time, chronic stress triggers a steady stream of cortisol, the same hormone released in moments of danger. While cortisol is useful in short bursts, helping the body respond quickly, it becomes harmful when it remains elevated for extended periods. This is known as chronic cortisol elevation, and it is more common than people think, especially in women over the age of 60. What makes this important is how cortisol interacts with other hormones. When cortisol stays high, it suppresses estrogen production. This is especially problematic after menopause when estrogen is already naturally lower. With less estrogen in the system, testosterone becomes relatively more dominant. That hormonal imbalance can lead to various issues, including unexpected facial hair growth, particularly on the chin, jawline, and upper lip. Stress also affects sleep, digestion, memory, and skin health. But what is most often overlooked is how it subtly shifts hormone patterns, often without women realizing that their emotional strain is being expressed physically. The body interprets stress as a signal that it needs to adapt, and in some cases, that adaptation includes changes in hair growth. Managing stress does not mean avoiding challenges. It means actively creating space for calm and recovery. Small daily practices can have a profound impact. A 20-minute walk after dinner, quiet time without screens, deep breathing, prayer, or writing in a journal for 5 minutes before bed. All of these are ways to invite the body out of survival mode and back into balance. It is not selfish to care for one's emotional well-being. It is essential. The body is always listening, and it responds to how it is treated. A calm nervous system supports balanced hormones, and balanced hormones mean less confusion in the mirror, more energy, and a greater sense of control. Letting go of what cannot be fixed and choosing to protect peace is one of the most powerful forms of self-care available, and it is never too late to start. 4. Sugar, comfort foods, and hormonal disruption. There is comfort in sweetness. A slice of pie during a quiet afternoon, a warm muffin with tea, or a soft roll at dinner. These foods carry memories, joy, and tradition. But in recent years, doctors have begun to draw a clear connection between sugar consumption and hormonal changes in older women, including those that lead to increased facial hair growth. When sugar or refined carbohydrates are eaten frequently, such as white bread, pastries, crackers, soda, or pasta, the body is flooded with glucose, prompting the pancreas to release insulin. Over time, if this happens too often, the body becomes less responsive to insulin. This condition, known as insulin resistance, causes blood sugar levels to remain higher for longer and affects how the body stores fat and regulates other hormones. One of the lesser known effects of insulin resistance is its connection to androgens, the group of hormones that includes testosterone. When insulin is elevated, it can stimulate the ovaries or adrenal glands to produce more androgens. In postmenopausal women who already have lower estrogen levels, this surge in androgen activity can lead directly to the appearance of coarse, dark facial hairs. This hormonal response does not happen overnight. It builds slowly, often without warning. A few extra sugary snacks here and there may seem harmless, but over months and years, the effects can become visible, not just on the scale, but on the skin and in the mirror. Reducing sugar does not mean eliminating all pleasure from eating. It means becoming more mindful. Choosing complex carbohydrates like oats, brown rice, quinoa, or sweet potatoes instead of processed grains. Replacing cookies or snack cakes with fresh fruit or nuts with a touch of cinnamon. Drinking water or herbal tea in place of sugary beverages. These small shifts make a big difference. Over time, as insulin sensitivity improves and inflammation decreases, many women report clearer skin, more stable energy, fewer mood swings, and yes, less facial hair growth. The body responds positively when it is given the nutrients it needs and freed from constant sugar spikes. Comfort should never come at the cost of health. Food can still be enjoyable, warm, and satisfying without throwing hormones into disarray. Choosing nourishment over temporary indulgence is a form of kindness to the body, and it is one of the simplest ways to support long-term hormonal balance and regain a sense of vitality from the inside out. 5. The sleep hormone connection. Sleep is often the first thing to be sacrificed in the daily rhythm of life, especially as women get older. For many, sleep becomes lighter, more interrupted, or harder to come by entirely. Waking up in the middle of the night, tossing and turning, or rising far earlier than desired can feel like an inevitable part of aging. But what if sleep was more than just a form of rest? What if it was also one of the most powerful tools the body has for restoring hormonal balance, particularly after menopause? Research now shows that sleep is not just about physical recovery. It is a deeply hormonal process. During restful, uninterrupted sleep, especially deep sleep and REM sleep, the body carries out crucial tasks. It regulates cortisol, the stress hormone. It balances estrogen and testosterone. It repairs tissues and resets the nervous system. Without consistent, high-quality sleep, this delicate system becomes disrupted. For women over the age of 60, this is especially important. After menopause, the body is already working with lower levels of estrogen. Poor sleep places even more pressure on the system, causing cortisol to rise. As cortisol goes up, estrogen goes down further, and testosterone becomes more dominant by comparison. That shift can trigger symptoms such as weight gain, brain fog, low mood, and, yes, unwanted facial hair growth. Sleep also affects insulin sensitivity, another factor tied to hormone regulation and androgen levels. Inadequate or irregular sleep patterns have been linked to increased insulin resistance, which, as discussed earlier, can stimulate the production of androgens like testosterone. It becomes a cycle. Poor sleep leads to more hormonal imbalance, which leads to more difficulty sleeping. Fortunately, even small changes can begin to restore the body's natural rhythm. Building a consistent bedtime routine sends a clear message to the nervous system. It is safe to relax. Avoiding screens, bright lights, and loud noise in the hour before bed helps prepare the brain for rest. Gentle habits, such as reading, prayer, light stretching, or sipping a calming herbal tea, can make the transition smoother. Some women also benefit from nutritional support, like a low-dose magnesium supplement after dinner, or melatonin under medical guidance. Others find that using soft background sounds like white noise or calming nature tracks helps to quiet a restless mind. Creating a sleep-friendly environment matters too. A dark, cool bedroom, comfortable pillows, and breathable sheets can make a surprising difference. Even using a light lavender scent on the pillow has been shown to help promote deeper relaxation and improved sleep quality. Sleep is not a luxury or a reward for a busy day. It is a biological necessity. It is during sleep that the body does some of its most important hormonal work. And for women looking to reduce facial hair growth naturally, restoring quality sleep is not just helpful, it is essential. By treating bedtime as a sacred window for healing, not just a gap between busy days, the body is given space to return to its natural balance. And in that space, it becomes easier to wake up feeling more rested, more clear-headed, and less surprised by what shows up in the mirror. 6. Hair removal habits that backfire. When facial hair begins to appear more frequently, the natural response is to remove it quickly, quietly, and without much thought. Many women turn to the same methods they have used for years: tweezing, waxing, depilatory creams, or even small battery-operated facial shavers. These tools seem convenient and offer instant results, but very few people consider how these removal methods might actually make the problem worse over time. What is often misunderstood is that the skin and hair follicles are part of a sensitive communication system in the body. When a particular area, like the chin or jawline, is irritated again and again through harsh plucking, tearing, or chemical application, the body interprets that as an injury. And when the body detects injury, it moves into healing mode. Unfortunately, part of that healing response can involve strengthening the hair follicle to protect the area. That can lead to the hair growing back not only faster, but thicker and darker. In other words, the more aggressive the removal method, the more likely it is that the body will respond by reinforcing that hair growth. It becomes a frustrating cycle. Remove the hair, see it return stronger, remove it again, and so on. Depilatory creams, for example, often contain strong chemicals that dissolve hair above the skin's surface. While effective in the short term, these products can also irritate the skin barrier, disrupt the skin's natural pH, and cause inflammation. Waxing can be especially harsh on mature skin, which becomes thinner and more delicate with age. Tweezing, though precise, can cause microtrauma to the follicle when done daily or forcefully. Rather than attacking the symptom, a more sustainable approach is to support the body from the inside out and choose hair removal methods that are gentle and respectful to the skin. Dermatologists often recommend minimizing mechanical trauma and shifting toward gentler alternatives. A well-designed facial epilator used just once a week and with light pressure can be a more skin-friendly option. Some women choose to use facial razors designed specifically for mature or sensitive skin, which glide over the surface rather than pulling from the root. Others choose to stop removing facial hair altogether and instead focus solely on internal hormonal balance. What matters most is intention. Hair removal should not become a daily battle. It should never involve pain, shame, or stress. If the focus is only on what appears in the mirror, the deeper signals from the body may be missed. Facial hair, especially when it appears suddenly or grows more coarse with age, is often a sign that the body's hormonal system is calling out for support. By shifting from reaction to reflection, from harsh removal to holistic care, women can reclaim not only smoother skin, but also a more balanced and informed relationship with their bodies. Gentle choices, patience, and consistency are key. And over time, with the right care both inside and out, the hair often softens, slows, and for many, disappears entirely. 7. The missing piece: supporting hormones from the inside out. Throughout life, women are taught to manage symptoms, to find quick solutions, cover-ups, or products that promise fast fixes. But when it comes to hormonal balance, especially after menopause, true progress happens when attention is turned inward. One often overlooked factor in managing facial hair and overall hormonal health is the body's ability to detox and regulate hormones naturally. And at the center of that process is an organ that rarely gets the credit it deserves: the liver. The liver plays a crucial role in processing hormones. It filters excess estrogen, metabolizes testosterone, and helps remove waste products and toxins that can disrupt hormonal equilibrium. When the liver is overloaded, whether from years of processed foods, medications, alcohol, or environmental pollutants, it cannot efficiently eliminate hormonal byproducts. These lingering hormones can recirculate in the body, further tipping the delicate balance that already shifts post-menopause. Along with the liver, the gut plays a significant role in hormonal health. The digestive system is responsible for absorbing nutrients that fuel the endocrine system as well as removing waste. Poor digestion, constipation, or an imbalance of gut bacteria can all interfere with how the body processes hormones. This can lead to a buildup of androgens, contributing to symptoms like unwanted facial hair, mood swings, fatigue, and skin changes. Supporting the liver and digestive system does not require extreme cleanses or complicated routines. In fact, some of the most effective steps are the simplest. Drinking enough water daily helps flush waste and keep the system moving. Eating fiber-rich foods, such as leafy greens, chia seeds, lentils, and oats, supports digestion and liver function. Reducing exposure to synthetic chemicals in food, plastic containers, and personal care products can also give the liver a break. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts are especially powerful allies. They contain compounds that support the liver's detox pathways and promote the breakdown of excess estrogen and other hormones. Adding these foods to a few meals each week can gently enhance the body's natural balance. Supplements like milk thistle, dandelion root tea, or probiotics may also support detox and gut health, but they should always be discussed with a trusted healthcare provider, especially when managing other conditions or medications. Another powerful yet overlooked factor is breathing. Deep, diaphragmatic breathing stimulates the lymphatic system and helps the body process waste more effectively. Just a few minutes a day of intentional breath work, especially during times of stress, can enhance the body's ability to reset and regulate. The bottom line is this: the body already knows how to create balance. Sometimes it just needs the right support. Instead of fighting facial hair with more force, the wiser approach is to create an internal environment where hormones can regulate themselves gently, naturally, and in alignment with the body's rhythm. By nourishing the systems that quietly do the work behind the scenes, women can begin to notice real, lasting changes: calmer skin, more stable moods, better energy, and in many cases, fewer surprise hairs appearing in the mirror. It is not about controlling the body, it is about partnering with it. Reclaiming balance. One small choice at a time. Aging is not the enemy. It is a transition, a powerful, natural shift that the body is always trying to navigate with wisdom and grace. But sometimes the signals get lost. A few extra hairs on the chin, changes in energy, a new kind of tension in the mirror. These are not failures, they are messages. And now the message is clearer than ever. The body wants balance. It does not need punishment. It needs support. Over the course of this video, 7 everyday habits were explored. Habits that many women have done for years without knowing how they quietly affect hormone levels. From morning coffee routines to nighttime sleep, from skincare products to sugar intake, from unmanaged stress to how hair is removed. And finally, how the inner organs like the liver and gut play a vital role in restoring harmony. Every one of these areas offers a gentle opportunity for change. None of them require perfection, just intention, awareness, and a bit of patience. Because healing, especially hormonal healing, happens slowly. It happens with consistency. And it happens when women stop fighting their bodies and start partnering with them. For anyone watching who has ever felt frustrated, confused, or even ashamed of facial hair or hormonal shifts, know this: you are not alone and you are not stuck. Small, thoughtful changes can ripple into big, beautiful results over time. Let this be the moment that things begin to shift. Choose one change, just one. Maybe it is eating something before coffee tomorrow morning. Maybe it is reading the label on your night cream. Or maybe it is simply giving yourself permission to rest without guilt tonight. And if this video spoke to you, leave a comment below with the words, "I choose balance." Let it be your reminder and your declaration. Subscribe for more insights, support, and real conversations that honor the wisdom of aging, not fight it. Because this chapter of life is not about fading away. It is about returning to the kind of strength that was always there, quietly waiting to be claimed.